me ask you this. There seems to be two schools of thought, Doctor. Is it wise or is it pointless to wear a face mask?
We don't recommend wearing a face mask unless you are coughing or sneezing.
One of the reasons that people wear masks is they think that it's going to protect them from virus. But the virus isn't floating around in the air. So it's not protecting me against anything because it's not there. It's probably going to be on my hand because I've shaken hands with someone who's got the virus. And I have transmitted it. I have carried the virus to my face.
Healthy people are being warned against using face masks to protect themselves against the virus. As Justine Conway explains, experts fear incorrect use could lead to more infection.
It's becoming commonplace. On the streets and in supermarkets, people are increasingly wearing face masks, just as a precaution.
Wearing masks like that is wasting a mask. That's a mask that won't be available when it's actually needed.
The state government's advice on wearing face masks is in line with the World Health Organization. Under its guidelines, masks should only be worn if you have a cough, fever and difficulty breathing, or if you are healthy and taking care of someone with these symptoms, and or someone with a confirmed case of COVID-19.
If you do not have these symptoms, you do not have to wear masks, because there is no evidence that they protect people who are not sick.
COVID-19 has increased, there have been significant new questions about stay-at-home orders, whether the public should be wearing masks outside, and new findings about how the virus spreads. I spoke this afternoon with one of the government's top officials on the public health response, Dr. Anthony Fauci of the National Institutes of Health. He's a key member of the president's coronavirus task force, and we spoke before the president announced the recommendation from the CDC that people use a cloth or fabric mask outside. Dr. Fauci, thank you very much for joining us. You are now saying that you don't understand why all Americans are not staying at home. Have you told the president that you think it's a good idea to order Americans to stay home?
I have said that I feel we should be implementing this social distancing or physical separation, which in many respects means staying at home to the extent possible. There is the threat of outbreak virtually everywhere and anywhere within our country. So when we extended the guidelines from the 15-day guidelines to now 30 days towards the end of April, I think this is an opportunity for everyone, every state, every region, every locale, to participate in this very serious physical separation.
But when lives are at stake, why aren't command measures requiring people to do this appropriate now? Urging Americans to wear masks when they go out. Tell us about the thinking on that, because just a few days ago, we were told that the thinking was that it was not necessary.
It's a great question, Judy, and the thinking is really now influenced by information that's coming in. And the information is that more and more accumulation of data indicate that people who are without symptoms at all can transmit the virus. But importantly, they can do it merely by speaking. So there's been a recent study that came out that said even the force from your voice of speaking, there is a degree of aerosolization, namely the virus can come out not very far, a few feet and down. So even though the perfect solution to this is if everyone at all times could stay 6 feet separated from another person. But
How useful are face masks during the corona crisis? Experts can't really agree on this. Should we wear them? And if so, who should wear them? Do they protect me or the other person? And which types of masks make sense at all?
In many Asian countries, face masks are regarded as one of the main weapons in the fight against the coronavirus. And in China, it's even forbidden to be on the streets without a mask. Now, here in Europe, we have mixed feelings about wearing masks. In times of scarcity, many believe masks should be reserved for healthcare workers who depend on protection. But that view seems to have changed recently. Now, more and more local authorities do recommend to wear masks in public. So let's talk about face masks and what they can do for us during a pandemic.
Virtual. Fashion is still finding its place in the midst of this crisis, and for many, the face mask is not just a way to protect themselves, it's also a way to express themselves. Once again, art imitates life.
It spells love.
A unique symbol of safety.
And this is just people's way of saying we care and we want to help.
Face masks are now 2020's wardrobe staple, the first must-have accessory recommended by the CDC, an intersection where fashion meets function. Inspired by designer Christian Siriano's call to make masks for those essential workers, Michael began the Million Mask Challenge.
It gave me hope again, and we inspired so many designers. So it stretches really, really, really well. Like this one is a neoprene scuba blend. And when you're tired, you're good to go.
Even though COVID's happening right now, I'm still going to be fashionable. If we want to define our face, we do it with makeup, with jewelry. Well, now masks are going to be a part of our proclamation and our sense of style.
Looking for water resistant? Check.
There's a lot of these masks that are made out of paper, out of cloth, and they need an extra protection.
I wanted to create this very strong mask look, and so I just started draping a mask over my face with leather.
Candace first debuted these designs for New York Fashion Week back in 2017, reviving these creations of satin and leather by popular demand. Company Disney now joining in the movement, harnessing that signature touch to its mask designs. The Universal Music Group is doing the same with masks of music superstars.
Are we losing connection with one another because of these face masks?
Yes, that might be one of the problem of the face masks. Our research very clearly shows that social connection is extremely important, and during the days of the hard lockout, we weren't able to get in touch with each other. And now with the face mask, what is missing is mimics, facial expressions. And we humans have learned in millions of years of our evolution to read into each other's faces. And this is very important information that is missing now.
Face masks represent just one aspect of a larger problem during this pandemic, and that is social isolation.
Yes, that's right. Face masks are just a visible sign of it, but I think the social isolation phenomena are much more severe and are much wider or broader than the face mask alone. So people who do not live in families, who do not live in larger communities, have learned to not seeing their colleagues, their friends, their relatives for 2 or 3 months. And this is a huge problem.
What kind of a psychological burden does that put on people to have to forego a lot of these social interactions?
I think it puts a huge burden on us. There are studies starting in the 1950s that have shown that children who were hospitalized for a few months or longer because of severe illnesses had severe impairments of their cognitive but also their social development. We are working together on a corona project with people from 10 different countries, and just now the data from Kazakhstan came in. In Kazakhstan, between mid-March and late May, more than 800 people have killed themselves, compared to only 14 in the year before.
What does you being white have to do with you being able to get your way?
Because I'm not a white woman. That's what happens.
You're a disgusting, racist piece of trash, literally.
I believe in white power.
White power?
Yeah.
You believe in f***ing white power. Tell me how you cough on people again. Go ahead. So you're in the store complaining that people aren't wearing masks, correct? Are you hiding now? And you want to say that you're going to cough on me? You're going to cough on me. You're going to cough on me?
She'll be up here in a minute.
Thank you. So now you have nothing to say because you're sitting here with your middle finger up, blocking your face because you're a coward.
Yeah, I'm laughing at you because you're
And you think you have the right to take your mask off to get everyone else sick. Meanwhile, you just threatened to cough on me during a global pandemic. Are you for real? Is that funny?
You're funny.
It's super funny. I swear to God, if you touch me again, I will knock you out. I will knock.
To be able to change how you think about things. And I think, one of the important things that we're emphasizing right now that really evolved from a situation that did change is our insistence now on wearing masks. I mean, masks are very important. They protect you from giving infection to someone else if you happen to be inadvertently infected, and I'll get back to that in a moment, because there's such a significant percentage of the cases that are actually without symptoms. So anyone at any given time could be infected, don't even know it, and feel perfectly well. So you have a responsibility.
Two is better than one. So, just how dire is the situation becoming? The CDC predicts at least 100,000 people will die in the first month of President Biden's term in office. It's unclear how new variants will impact this number. The Biden administration is urging everyone to avoid unnecessary travel, social distance, and to continue to wear masks. Health officials say the new variants can be found in more than half the country, and according to the CDC, the highly transmissible strain first identified in the UK will likely be the dominant strain here by March, and that has many people donning an extra layer of protection. With new, more contagious variants of coronavirus on the rise, the question has been raised, should we all be wearing more than one face mask?
It's desperately needed. This one, it's made from an old t-shirt. It's got 3 layers, so should do a reasonable job of stopping any virus that I might release, which really matters because up to 1 in 3 people may be infected without even realizing and to be blocked. They should provide you with some good protection and others around you, but they don't fit very well. There are gaps at the sides that tiny virus particles called aerosols could get through.